Excuse me.
So I think that Antje is on the phone and is talking with one of our participants that is not here yet, but now she
Yes,
has finished.
excuse me, our last guest was just arriving. So this today we make a reading of this anthology, the Blue Springs Blue Ribbon, and this is the third event, and we will propose very interesting poets. First, we had the music made by Tomas Styhn. He is a music video artist from Germany, born in '62. He was first passionate contact with music at an early age when discovering his parents' record player. At 12, the first own guitar should not be the last. With 15, the rock and roll live debut and several band projects followed. Expansion of styles from swing, jazz, children's musical, and blues pop to creating film music in his own, in his own recording studio. So now we will start with Padmaja from India. Padmaja is the literary coordinator of ISISAR in Kolkata and the editorial consular India International Writers Journal in the USA. Her maiden poetry collection, PM Chance, has been recognized as a unique record of excellence by the Indian Book of Records. Paddy has compiled and edited 6 international multilingual poetry anthologies, of which Amaravati Poetic Prison in 2016 to 2019 have been recognized by the Limca Book of Records, published by Coca-Cola India, as poetry anthology in most languages. Paddy's poems, articles, and short stories are regularly published in anthologies, magazines, and e-zines. Okay, so now we listen to Padma from India.
Thank you, Angie, for that wonderful introduction. Hello, everyone. I will be reading a poem in the national language of India, that is Hindi, and an English translation of the Hindi poem. If you search the Google, you'll see that 19,500 languages are spoken in India. Languages and dialects are spoken in India. So I will be reading the poem in my national language, Hindi. First, the English translation so that you're able to relate better to my Hindi poem. The title is Springtime, which is the translation of my Hindi poem, which I'll read later. Scent of spring blooms wafts through the air that dispels the gloom and all worries and care. The vast clear blue sky and birds that freely fly signal spring's arrival and nature's revival. Like a hug, I feel snug, like a bug in a rug. I feel wrapped totally enveloped by the spring's blue, ribbon blue, that's also my favorite hue. I feel totally wrapped, totally enveloped by the spring's ribbon blue, that's also my favorite hue. Now I'll read the original Hindi poem. It's titled Vasant Kal. वसंत के फूलों की सुगंध हवा में कुछ ऐसे महकती है कि उदासी दूर हो जाती है और दुख और चिंताएं भी। विशाल खुला नीला आकाश और उड़ते हुए आजाद पंछी दे संकेत वसंत के आगमन का और प्रकृति के पुनः प्रवर्तन का। करती हूं मैं महसूस आलिंगन की तरह, रजाई में महसूस खटमल की तरह। करती हूं मैं महसूस आलिंगन की तरह, रजाई में महफूस खटमल की तरह। लगता है मैं हूं लिपटी और पूरी तरह से घिरी वसंत के नीले रिबन में, जो है मेरा प्रिय रंग भी। थैंक यू।
Thank you very much, Padmaja. This
Thank
was
you.
very nice.
Thank
Now
you.
we go directly to Don Krieger. Don is a biomedical researcher whose focus is the electric activity within the brain. He is the author of the 2020 hybrid collection Discovery, the 2022 hybrid chapbook When Danger is Past, Who Remembers, Milk and Cake Press, a 2020 Pushcart nominee, and a 2020 Creative Nonfiction Foundation Science as Story Fellow. His work has appeared in American Journal of Nursing, Neurology, Seneca Review, the Asia Shimbun, the Blue Nip, the Pittsburgh Post Gazette, and others, and has been translated into Farsi, Greek, Italian, German, and Turkish. Don Krieger, please read us your poem.
Thank you, Antje, and thank you, everyone. I'm going to read one poem from the book. Reap the Whirlwind. 2020, deadliest year for gun violence in America. 43,500. American Journal of Managed Care. Billboards then. Segregation now, segregation forever. Visualize world peace. These days with the COVID, we keep the windows shut, hold our water, drive like the hunted, like the dispossessed. True Christians obey Christ. Women who serve gain paradise. At the rest stop, every other face exposed, guns at the ready, the others with face masks like targets. That's Reap the Whirlwind.
Thank you very much. And now I have to see who is next. Chloe, shall we read, Gino, would you read the poem from Chloe? And then afterwards we go to Yiorgos from Greece. So we have two Greek poets, one after the other. Your mic is off, Gino. You have to switch on your mic.
I got it.
Yes.
Thank you. So I will just take a look on Chloe. Yeah. Okay, I can start with it. That is, the title is When Spring Delays. Sorry, so when spring delays. When spring delays and the fields breathe with difficulty under the white sheet of the morgue, The fruits are embalmed, the birds mummified, the bears have passed out, and under the skin of the forest sleeps the snake of time. I'm thinking of the underneath land where your eyelids, small, simple gates of tenderness have clashed, irrevocably, where fish levitate, small aerostates with huge eyes made of glass, where spring is forever sealed in a champagne bottle whose cork will never explode, because spring is a lover's body and its memory, eternal blooms. That was the poem from Chloe Koutsoumbeli from Greece.
Very good. Can I give a message to Don? Don, do you hear me?
Yes,
Mamta just registered. Could you send her the entering link? Your mic is off.
I'll take care of it.
Thank you very much. Now we have our other poet from Greece, Yiorgos Chouliaras, excuse me the pronunciation. He is also an essayist, prose writer, and translator, honored by the Academy of Athens for his innovative writing and his work in its entirety. His poetry in translation has been published in leading US periodicals and anthologies, and in Bulgaria, Croatia, France, Germany, India, Italy, Japan, Lithuania, Romania, Sweden, and Turkey, among other countries. He has been elected president of the Hellenic Authors Society, the principal association of literary writers in Greece. Translator David Mason is an award-winning American poet, librettist, editor, critic, and university professor. A former Colorado poet laureate, he now lives in Tasmania with his wife, the poet Kelly Donnan Davis. So, George Yiorgos, we are listening to your poem.
Let me start by thanking you, Antje, and as well as participating and attending friends and colleagues. And let me also express appreciation to our friend, Gino Leinewebber, who is the reason we're all here today. And I'm so happy he's in Napoli, one of the centers of enlightenment, along with Scotland. In any case, this is a difficult, a terrible time, personally, global, internationally, in Europe. It's 9 lines, the poem I'll read, and I'll start as Paddy did with a translation. That way you can imagine that you know Greek by the time I read it in the original. And it is called The Usefulness of Beauty. It's a very simple, perhaps, we'll see. And of course, appreciation. This is a poem, as I mentioned, translated with David Mason, my friend now in Tasmania, so far away from all of us. The usefulness of beauty. It is so beautifully useful, this cup, that keeps the liquid from escaping my hands and holds unbrokenly the first drink of the day. So when thought again begins to stir in the cup of the mind, I can only surmise that nothing is more as, after all, you remind me every morning, though you're still sleeping far away. In Greek, η χρησιμότητα της ομορφιάς. Είναι τόσο όμορφα χρήσιμη αυτή η κούπα που υγρό χωρίς να φεύγει από τα χέρια μου κρατά συνεχώς το πρώτο ρόφημα της ημέρας, ώστε καθώς αρχίζει πάλι να αναδεύεται η σκέψη μέσα στην κούπα του μυαλού, δεν μπορώ παρά να συμπεράνω ότι τίποτε δεν είναι χρησιμότερο από την ομορφιά, όπως κάθε πρωί άλλωστε μου θυμίζεις αν και ακόμη θα κοιμάσαι κάπου μακριά. Danke schön.
Thank you very, very much, Yiorgos. You're so right. Nothing is more important than beauty and recognizing beauty. So now we have a little music break again. Maybe I present Ulrike Gaate before we listen to the music. Ulrike Gaate is a multifaceted pianist from Hamburg, Germany, and received her first piano lesson in family at 4. This was followed by classical piano education, classes in piano improvisation, and numerous projects in rock, boogie-woogie, blues, musical theater, chansons, and reading events with music. At Berklee College of Music in Boston, USA, she completed several study courses on improvisation and music management at the online campus. With her Ulrike Gaate trio, she won the C. Bechstein Award. She completed her scientific university degree with a doctorate. When she's not playing the piano, she works as a university lecturer. So Ulrike Gaate, welcome. I hope you listen to us. And now there's your music piece. Thank you very much, Ulrike Gaate. This video makes me homesick with all these wonderful images from northern Germany. So Gino, I would say we jump to Mamta Sagar, and then again we read one of the ones that are not there. So we have a little bit interchange. Okay, Mamta Sagar from India. Where are you?
Right here, Antje.
Yeah, let me find your, where is your, Echo, Mamta Sagar. Okay, welcome. And for everybody, Mamta Sagar is a noted Kannada poet, playwright, and translator from India. Her writings focus on identity politics, feminism, issues around linguistic and cultural diversities. She has 5 poetry collections, 4 plays, poetry videos, films, and many translations at her credit. Translations of her poems are published in several international literary journals. She is a founder of Kavya Sanje, a community poetry engagement. And she is part of the Rucksack project, which I started in 2020. She is a co-editor for India, and she was curating 28 poets from all over India with 28 different languages, no more than 28 poets, I think even. So Mamta, we are waiting for your poem.
Thank you, Antje. So I would like to bring in one little poem. As my dear friend who read before me said that he would read the translation, I would also love to read the translation first and then present the poem in Kannada. The translation goes like this. Trapped song. A cloud came floating over an empty page. As the sharpness of the pencil blunts, clouds thicken. Roundness grays deeper, casting a gloom upon the page. Whirlwind doesn't whoosh, rustling of the leaves not heard. Scent of the moist soil recurs as memory. Voice rumbles, pitter-pat, drizzles drop. Over the page, wind whispers. Flower buds from the creepers around fall as letters tossed on the page. Ripples in the mind's expanse refuse to spill over upon the empty page, within the dark clouds, in the rain that pour not. In pouring letters, a song gets trapped beyond portrayal. The translation is by me, the poet. Now I go to the original. It is written in Kannada language. ಬಿಡಿಸಲಾಗದ ಹಾಡು ಒಂದು ಮೋಡ ತೇಲಿ ಬಂತು ಹಾಳೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಪೆನ್ಸಿಲ್ಲಿನ ದಪ್ಪ ಸೀಸದ ಮೊನಚು ತುದಿ ಮೊಂಡಾದಂತೆ ದುಂಡಗೆ ಮೋಡ ದಟ್ಟವಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಕಂದವಾಗುತ್ತಾ ಹಾಳೆ ಮೇಲೆ ಮಬ್ಬು ಕವಿದಿತ್ತು. ಸುಯಿಗುಡದ ಸುಂಟರ ಗಾಳಿ ತರೆಗೆಲೆಗಳು ಸರಬರ ಅನ್ನದು. ಕಾದ ಮಣ್ಣು ಘಮಗುಡುವ ನೆನಪು ದನಿ ಗುಡುಗಿ ಹನಿ ಬಿತ್ತು. ಹಾಳೆ ಮೇಲೂ ಗಾಳಿ ಬೀಸಿ ಅಕ್ಕ ಪಕ್ಕದ ಬಳ್ಳಿಗಳಿಂದ ಅರಳದ ಮೊಗ್ಗುಗಳು ತುರಿ ಹಾಳೆ ತುಂಬ ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳು ಚದುರಿ ಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ತುಳುಕಲಾಗದ ತರಂಗಗಳು ಮೂಡಿತ್ತು. ಖಾಲಿ ಹಾಳೆಯ ಕಪ್ಪು ಮೋಡದ ಬೀಳದ ಮಳೆಯ ಬಿದ್ದ ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಿಸಲಾಗದ ಹಾಡು ಸಿಲುಕಿತ್ತು ಸಿಲುಕಿತ್ತು. Thank you.
Thank you, Mamta. Wonderful. Your language is music.
Yes,
really...
it is beautiful. Every language has its own innate musicality. You just need to tap that. I do that.
Yeah, you really express.
Thanks for having me, Gino. The book is wonderful. I'm really, really proud of being part of the book and part of this whole band of people. Thank you, Antje.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Mamta. Now, I think we go to Serbia, and Gino will read the poem by Milica Jevtimijevic Lilic. She is graduated from the Faculty of Philosophy in Pristina and won a master's degree in philologic science at the University of Belgrade. She was a professor at the University of Pristina and editor on Belgrade TV. She has published collections of poems, stories, essays in 27 books. She's represented in many anthologies and has many literary awards of national importance as international. Her works translated into more than 28 languages of the world. She uses to be the vice president of the Association of Writers of Serbia, lives in Belgrade since 1999. So now Gino will read her poem in English.
Yeah, I have to excuse that I'm not trained reading of these poems, but I will try my best and read the poem, It is Sunday. The unanimous performance of birds and cicadas overshadows sirens, the noise of metropolis. I attend it from an empty park. It is not hampered by the absence of audience or applause. The singing is so sincere. I detect that the celestial moment of the unexpected concert in 100 birds' voices can heal millions of people. All those who have not bowed their heads or surrendered to hopelessness, who are not oppressed by hunger or humiliated accusers before themselves for the wrong steps or choices, who are not forced to kneel publicly in order to touch the ruler's feet like all slaves. Free breathing is taught here, singing on free topics, flying high. Everything may wait, terms of divorces, lawsuits, retaliations. It is Sunday morning. The liturgical sound of birds' prayer is refreshing. Children are on their mothers' laps. Fathers are turning the pages of dailies. The conversation of old women coming through open windows is quiet and without everyday tensions. Nobody is weeping, running, or swearing. It is Sunday, Holy Spring.
Thank you very much. And now we are going to listen to Luz Mejia. Luz Stella Mejia has published 2 books of poetry, Etymologicas in 2020 and Palabras Sumergidas in 2018. Her writing has been included in anthologies and short stories anthologies. Her poem, That Peace I Want, won mention in 1,000 Poems for the Peace of the World in 2019. She lives in the US, where she is editor in her publishing house Tesselada, and collects books in Spanish to share. Oh my God. It's to share with a community of prisoners, no? If I remember well. So Luz Stella, we are listening to your poem.
Thank you, Angie. Thank you very much to you and also to Don and Gino for having me here and to put all this together. Well, the poem name or the title is, first I'm gonna read it in Spanish and then in English.
Yes, good.
Sin nosotros. Te perdono, primavera, por florecer en mi puerta sin preguntarme. ¿No te das cuenta acaso que aún estoy hibernando? Haces que el cardenal exhiba impúdico su color feliz en mi ventana. Afuera, el dulce canto de los vivos, saltando entre la hierba, me excluye doloroso. La vida desbordada en los jardines me sorprende. ¿Cómo puede ser tan bella cuando somos rehenes del descuido? Éramos hermanas en el tiempo, ahora tú vas por ahí regando flores. y yo hoy no soy parte del milagro. Sospecho que lo sabes y desdeñas. Tal vez quieres decirnos algo. Tal vez quieren tú y la Madre Tierra celebrar nuestro encierro en una fiesta. Without us. I forgive you, spring, for blooming at my door without my saying. Perhaps you don't realize that I'm still hibernating. You make the cardinal display shameless its happy color at my window. Outside, the sweet song of the living jumping through the grass excludes me painfully. Life overflowing in the gardens surprises me. How can you be so beautiful when I am hostage to carelessness? We were sisters in time. Now you go around spilling flowers, and today I'm not part of the miracle. I suspect that you know it and disdain it. Maybe you want to tell us something. Maybe you and Mother Earth finally want to celebrate our confinement with a party. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Luz.
Thank you, Angie.
Very nice, very nice. Now we come to our last poet, Gino, if I'm right. This is Elcin Sevgi Sucin from Turkey. Will you read the poem?
Yes.
I will do the introduction. Her poems and essays on poetry appeared in various literary magazines. She published 2 poetry collections in Turkish. The 3rd poetry collection is currently under publication. Neil P. Doherty is a translator born in Dublin, Ireland in 1972, who has resided in Istanbul since 1992. He currently teaches in Bilgi University. He is a freelance translator of both Turkish and Irish poetry. So please, Gino, could you read the poem?
Yes, I will. I'm delighted to read the poem, and it's called Signs. How I long to be your voice wrapped around your tongue. Let them see me as a lyric flower of your mouth. Like seeds swelling in my heart, the soil in my flesh steers. The tree in the corner is about to bloom. Its branches now the same hue as my lips. A black and white coat wrapped over our shoulders throughout the winter. We withdrew into ourselves, silent, yet intent, as if he were reading his roots and I, myself, for revolution. With birds and the love cries of cats, the first days of March arrived. We awoke, quivering of green in our veins. We stretched out, the earth stretched out with us. At first came the sound of the crocus tearing the earth. Then the early flowers of the cherry tree, and your hands plucking roses from my heart. Something poetic came to pass. Spring is here, or so the cycling children said.
Thank you very much, Gino.
Yeah.
Yes, spring should be here, but it's still a little bit cold. So to end up this wonderful reading, we have another piece of music by Tomas Styhn. And then we can stay a little bit together. We stop the official registration and have some chats and also questions. If you have questions about poems, you can ask them. Okay, so we go to the music. Thank you very much, Tomas Styhn, for
Yeah,
this wonderful
wonderful,
music.
wonderful.
Yeah, it's combining, somehow it's a combining music, world music from sounds of the East and the West and the middle. Also, Greek music is inside, I think. So before closing, I want to say a special thank you to Don Krieger for his technical support. Without him, we couldn't do all this, and he's always with us. It's so great. Don, thank you very much. Then, of course, to Gino Leinewebber, who put together this book, which has how many? 80, I think 80 poets. And
61.
61,
60.
already enough. It's a big, big work. And he made really a trip around the world with these poets. And then, thank you very much, Yiorgos from Greece to be with us, Padmaja from India, Luz S from Colombia, Mamta Sagar from India, and all our other guests, Xanti, thank you to be with us, Maren, Ulrike, are you there? Thank you for your wonderful music. And who else is there? Where's Tomas? Tomas, thank you.
Yeah,
You are there. Wonderful. Great video, great music. We enjoyed it. And thank you for being with us. So I hope I didn't forget Tomas. Tomas, thank you to be with us. I hope I named everybody. Marcia Bronstein. Thank you. Okay, thank you, Gino. And we see each other next week for the fourth meeting. And then altogether we have 5 meetings. So we wait for you. Next week it will be 2 hours later at 7 o'clock European time, Rome time. Okay.
So in India, it will be 10:30.
Yes.
Yeah.
What time is it now in India?
It is 9:15.
Yeah, it
then
will
it's,
be an hour, 10:30 it will be. Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you can,
But-
who wants to
But you
come
will get
there?
it in the invitation. You will get it in the invitation. You will get
Yes.
the invitation, an extra invitation for the next session, and there you
Right.
will find the hours. And I think
Who is
Don.
here? Yeah, who is here can use the same link he used today for next
Yes.
week
Yeah.
and in 2 weeks. So
Sure.
it's very
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
You don't have to wait for anything.
Yeah.
Just click on it. Okay,
Yes.
thank you, Don.
Thank
I
you.
think we can
Thank you very much. Yeah.
stop
Thank you.
registration and going live.